Welcome to Sense and Sustainability, your podcast channel for sustainable procurement. We hope you like what you hear. Please go to www.iso2400.org for more information, learning resources, tools, and much more.
Welcome to Sense and Sustainability, your sustainable procurement podcast. I'm Shaun McCarthy, Director of Action Sustainability Community Interest Company. I'm very pleased to introduce part two of two podcasts with Yvonne Jamal from Germany, where Yvonne talks about some of the amazing work that she's doing to promote sustainable procurement in her country. I hope you enjoy it. So Yvonne, as you know, I chaired the UK delegation in developing the ISO 2400 standard, but Germany decided not to send a delegation. They weren't really involved as a country. How's the standard going now? Is it working for you in Germany?
I think now people recognize, but it was not very well known in the past. When I wrote this guideline and when we also developed a kind of certification for this big association that I was talking about before, for sustainable procurement, we mentioned this standard and we said, look, there's ISO 2400 and here you find a lot of information on this and how you can do it, but you cannot get certified on that and so on. But for this association, we made it in a different way. We said we focus with this standard because we know we can't control the supply chain our own. We can't certify them for their supply chain. But I said, what we want to do is that we certify their procurement processes, their procurement processes in their organization, and really to say, look, do you have all what you need to be really sustainable in your procurement activities? So do you have a procurement responsible person at least? Do you have the commitment from your managing director or from your board or whatever, do you have a sustainable procurement strategy? Do you have a sustainable procurement program? What activities have been done in that period? How many activities are there? How relevant are they? Did you make a materiality analysis for your procurement strategy? And what do you do to engage with your suppliers, and so on and so on? So we have 9 minimum criteria that we have there. And this is what where we go to the companies, where we really have a look, where we talk to them, where we see their documents, where we really check, where we talk to all their procurement people. We ask, we want to see this person, that person, that person, also others, not only procurement, but also other people around. And where we want to see if they really do it and make progress. And we also ask, for example, that they should make for 3 of their core products that they have, that they make, for example, they're a transparent supply chain, that they really dig deep and talk to their suppliers and say, look, I want to know from your supplier who is the previous supplier, and from this supplier who is the previous supplier, until you come to the raw material. And this is the biggest point where they are all very nervous, and where we have the most questions about, because they say, oh, I don't get this information, I don't know how to do it, and so on. So we give them some advice. We told them, look, on this page, on that page, you find also a table and this and that, how you can do it. And please, you have to think of how you talk to your suppliers. Don't say, I have to do it because I want to have the certification and you need to give me this, but to tell the supplier, look, what is in it for you? What benefits you have if you can say this from your product, because you have also other clients, and I will help you. What do you need from my side? Shall we talk together to your previous supplier? Something like this. And they all made it. They all made it. I mean, I have to say, we don't have so many certified organizations so far. That's also a topic that we are very strong talking about now, how we can push this a little bit. But I see that they really struggle with that point. And that they also struggle in, but this is something what they get done then after a while, to really make this program, to make this materiality analysis and to make a good program and to follow this program. And then they see really how much work is behind and how much they have to change their behavior and their current processes, But this is normally a very good process, because with all those organizations that we spoke, they saw the benefits in it, they saw the opportunities for this, and they saw how much improved also their appreciation that they got internally, because they see, wow, I can really deliver here very good information also for our sustainability reporting, for our financial reporting, for all these things, and all the other departments that I have to talk to when I want to make this certification. They also understand much better why we ask this and that, why they should follow the process, why they should rethink about their specification wishes that they have, and so on and so on. So we see that this really helps to improve the situation. But of course, it's a very young certification. We need some more input, and we need an urgent update. And this is something what I was talking to this association, what hopefully will come up very soon, because it's not our certification. We just developed this, and the owner is this association for that. So I hope that there will be a new stakeholder dialogue soon, so that we can talk about the latest adaptations and to discuss also the learnings that we had.
Brilliant. I think the important point there about certification, because this is something our ISO 2400.org steering group are very vexed about. You cannot be certified against ISO 2400, but what you're doing in Germany, and it's also happening in France and other places, that there is a certification against good procurement practice,
Yes,
which draws on ISO 2400 for the sustainability piece, and that's
Yeah.
a perfectly legitimate thing to do. But the world of standards is a little bit complicated, and I think we need to understand that. You mentioned the new law in Germany, and pretty much people around the world are saying that that's probably the toughest legislation around sustainable supply chains in the world. You know, there's legislation in France, there's a Modern Slavery Act in the UK, and various other things. And you talk as well about needing to go down that multi-tier supply chain to understand where the impacts are. How challenging, people from outside Germany saying, oh my God, that's, really, really challenging. The reporting requirements look to be very onerous. How's that working in Germany? How's it going down as a piece of legislation? And do you think it's going to work?
Yeah, actually it is already working, because it started, or it was implemented last year. It came into force last year for the bigger organizations with more than 3,000 employees. And now from the 1st of January this year, it's also affecting the companies with more than 1,000 employees. Yeah. So there was a huge and massive resistance. Yeah. We had from several sides, especially from economy and from the big ones, from the politicians, from several parties. It was a large really discussions, and many of the big established associations out there and members out there and organizations who really fought against this law. And the civil society was also very strong, so we also got connected, we collaborated, and we also put it from our side on a very clear and positive way. So we said from the beginning, look, procurement guys, this is a law that will affect you very strongly. We had this NAP, this National Action Plan, that was actually from the UN Guiding Principles, a big requirement. And we said, there was a survey, there was an evaluation, and the numbers, the results were very clear. The target was that at least 50% of the companies who took part, that they fulfilled these due diligences. But we found it was not even 20%. So, and it was in the big contract of the coalition from SPD and CDU those days, that they agreed if it's lower than 50%, there will be this law implemented. Yeah, so there is no time for, we do it on our own. We don't need a law. We don't need a legislation. This time is over. You had your chance. Now we will have this law. It's written there. It's in this contract, and you can't go out of this. So don't discuss about if it's coming or not. We anyway have to do it, because on the European side, there's another legislation already they're working on. And let's talk about the how you can do it, and what it is all about, and why it is good for you. Because that's what I told them always on the conferences, and each presentation that I made. I told them, look, it's a big challenge for you. It's a big chance for you. It's a big opportunity for you. And yes, we will have challenges, but with this law, you get really the support from a government, from a law, that you can finally now be active in sustainable procurement, because we had many professionals who really wanted to do something but were blocked. They didn't get the financial support. Their projects or ideas, what they had, they didn't get support inside of the company, because they said, no, something else is more important, or you should concentrate on your savings or whatever. And we said, now this is the time you should use this and take it as your chance to position yourself in a different way. To come to the big table and show your influence that you are having, because it will have a financial impact also on your company. If you don't perform well, you can be excluded from public tenders and all if you don't fulfill these requirements and so on. Yeah, so that was a really big discussion. I always try to put it in a positive way, that they understand that it's necessary and that it's good for them, that they can do something. And I always show them, look, there are so many tools outside, so many things outside that will help you to do this. Yeah, just get connected with NGOs, work together with civil society, work together with science, and also with your competitors. Get engaged in industry initiatives so that you can really combine all this knowledge that you already have, and that you can increase your impact on sustainability, that you can share also cost, also investments that you will have to do, and so on. And not everybody likes it still, yeah, for sure. And again, still there are so many people also in Germany also nowadays who are really still complaining about this and what bureaucracy it is and so on and so on. But we see that these statements are very often from either bigger companies, but not even the bigger companies, but mainly from associations again, who are really not even that deep sometimes into the topic. And we are talking very often, I have to say, to the smaller and medium-sized companies. So they don't even sometimes fall under this law. Yeah, but what happened was, of course, that all the big companies who fall under this law, who are actually having to follow these rules, that they reached out to their suppliers, the smaller ones who don't have to do it. But they said, look, I want to have this proof and that proof, and I want to know if you do this or that, and if you fulfill this, and or if you don't. And sometimes they did it so complicated that they just put it one and one down in their supply chains. And that was, of course, a big chaos, yeah, because all the suppliers, all the companies, if they were affected or not, they just got these assessments from their clients, and they should show what they are doing in sustainability and how they handle their supply chains and so on. So that's why it was again a big discussion and a big topic about bureaucracy, but mainly because those who were affected didn't do it right. Yeah, because they didn't make any materiality analysis sometimes. They did it on a high level, but when they were talking to their suppliers, they just sent out what they got as requirements. Not all of them, of course, but many of them. And they put it over to their suppliers. And you know how many companies now are struggling with this. So this is a big discussion that we are having. And yeah, actually there's some important elections next year. So this is again a hot topic, as I found, and can't say so much about it because I'm still doing some investigation what is coming up there. There are some discussions now with one of the parties from the government who wants a change, that not this governmental, this public authority is looking after the fulfillment of this law, but that they want that there are these the big four, for example, I can't remember the name now, of Wirtschaftsprüfer, the auditors, yeah, those ones who check.
Accountancy firms, yeah.
Yes. This, I mean, that they should take over, yeah, that they should show then this is their idea, what I don't like at all. But anyway, this is just one of the things that are discussed now at the moment. But it's still challenging. It's not easy, of course, yes. But I heard another voice that was very nice, because it was also an association, but one that is very social oriented, let's say. And they also make with their members some workshop with us, or we provided them a kind of training for their members. And they said afterwards, you know, so far, when there was a new law, we had the situation that even from procurement side or whatever, we go to our legal department and we said, look, there is this law, or they came to us and said there is a new law. And then the legal department checked if there's anything to do. They gave us a kind of checklist and we said, click, 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 yeah, and then it's fine. And then we were out of this. With this law, the Supply Chain Act, suddenly we have to reflect ourselves. We have to reflect our procurement processes. We have to make a procurement program. We have to make a materiality analysis on our own. We have to support our suppliers. We have to talk to our suppliers about this. That's really new. That was really intense, but it was such an eye-opener for us, how much we can contribute and how much we can do. That was really something special and very new. And that was so much going to my heart, because it was exactly what we wanted to achieve. Yeah. And we thought, yes, that shows that it's really working. And we see it from all these medium-sized companies that we are, for example, also working with, when we are talking to them, when we talk to our members, that we see, look, it is working, it can help, and they accept it, and they see that they can do something, and then they try piece by piece, not all at once, but they see, okay, I try now a supplier dialogue, I make a supplier day, yeah, and now I try it in a different way. I don't only present what I want from them and how good I am. I really want to give them the stage that they can present their latest ideas, new solutions. I maybe include a workshop where we educate our suppliers, where we really support that the suppliers with each other talk about certain topics, that they learn from each other, and they see the positive feedback they get from this, and how much support they then get from their suppliers, and how they can improve. And it's really touching me, yeah, when I see this, that it is working, and that we see so many proof of concepts.
So across the board, how much support is available for suppliers? Because you're absolutely right. This will drill down into small businesses very quickly. And I think you said, that they're struggling. What support is being made available to them? Obviously, you guys are doing what you can, but are there wider schemes? Because certainly my experience in the UK of starting the Supply Chain Sustainability School in 2012 is something that you can only do in collaboration, bringing organisations together to deliver, the sort of learning at scale that you need to make this work.
Yeah, what support is there? Anyway, the support that they established from the governmental side is actually, for example, this help desk we are having. So they are like the first point where the people can go to if they want to get to more information about this. And they published a nice online tool as well, where you get some more information, and where you find all the details about the Supply Chain Act, and where you can get also some templates and so on. So this I like very much. You also have possibility to get a small consultation is too much, but some support also from them, that you can ask your questions, that they give you some feedback, that they show you some other tools that they are providing. For example, they have the CSR risk checker, what was developed in the Netherlands, and what they share, where all these risk data is bundled, let's say, in one tool. So you can enter, for example, then your category and the country of origin, and then it shows you which risks are there on the social side and the economic side or governance side, and also in the ecological side. So and also all the details about where you find the sources, so that you can make a deep dive into the latest studies, reports, and so on. So this is already something what helps you actually once to get structured in this tool, but also to find your risks that you're having, so that you have a first starting point, let's say, that's something. But they don't normally go deeper in this, because they don't make any corporate consultation. Of course not. It's just a first supporting desk, let's say. And what we do is we show them also some other tools that are out there. We connect them also with NGOs. And there's, for example, one NGO that I like very much. I told you about it last time. It's the Responsible Contracting Project. And they help, and they also talk to this, or they are also close linked with this help desk. They provide templates for sustainable contracts that you can do with your suppliers, so that you don't push them, that you don't make this demands like you are responsible for everything. You have to ensure that you don't abuse human rights, and if something happens, you're out of the contract, or you have to have any claims from us or whatever. But that you really talk about a shared responsibility, that you really talk about, please be honest, try your best, show me what you're doing. If something happens, talk to me, we find together a solution. And we will also find a financial way of dealing this, and that you also have, for example, not only the supplier code of conduct, but also a buyer's code of conduct, so that you also have there a chance that you assure your buyer, your supplier, look, I'm also having my principles, I also follow these rules. It's not only that I ask this from you. If you sign me the supplier code of conduct, then I will also share mine with you. So that it's fair, that it's equal, that it's eye on eye level. It's not this top-down principle anymore. So this is something what I support very much. And these are tools that we share them with our audience, with our with the people who talk to us. And there are so many other tools. also now about deforestation and so on. So we also have with the Global Nature Funds, for example, we collaborate and show also what tool they provided with Elan, where they explain how to do and what steps you can do there, and so on. So this we try to bundle with us, with Jaro Institute. So if somebody is asking us that we can provide the right answer, what will help them, and we show them, look, you don't need all these large consultation costs, yeah, what are out there, because we see that many of the consultants make the people scared, that they try to sell with the fear of the people, and also many attorneys, many lawyers do it that way, yeah. So from the legal side, and we try to motivate them and to show them, look, of course, here and there, if you don't have enough people, if you don't have enough manpower, maybe you need consultancy, yeah. But first, see and understand it yourself, that you understand where exactly you need that help and that support, yeah, and then you can do it. But anyway, you have to understand how it works. Your entire procurement people have to understand how it works and what it is all about, and we show you how you can do it.
Yeah, this is much more the progressive procurement thinking, isn't it? Just old school is very much,
Yeah.
you keep pushing the risk down and down the supply chain to the company that's probably least able to bear the risk, into a more progressive risk sharing model and way of doing things. And I guess the way that the law now is coming about in Germany, that it's going to have to, people are going to have to align to that, because otherwise you can't just say, this is a requirement now, you must do it. And you do get these silly statements about, you must guarantee to me that there are no labour abuses in your supply chain. Well, I don't think there's any organisation in the world that can do that. It's not possible.
Now, you don't have to. What is the big difference, and what many companies didn't understand at the beginning, or what they didn't see in the beginning, is that this law is not forcing you to show that you are successful. Yeah, you don't have a duty of success. You just have to show that you are engaged, that you understand your risks, and that you are engaged, that you try to do something against it, yeah, to fulfill your responsibilities. But you don't have to prove the success of it, because they also say and understand, okay, we can't force you, we can't. There are certain situations out there, and there are certain structures out there and systems out there where you are sometimes too small, that you don't have enough influence, yeah, or where the political background is a difference, so that you also have maybe not so much, not such big chances to change something there. But we wanted you see that you try it, and that you talk to your suppliers about it, and that you try to see if you can't do it from that side, that you maybe find another way, that you work together, that you collaborate. Yeah, this is something what they said. We want to see that you try your best to improve the situation, at least, yeah, to avoid these risks. But you don't have to guarantee this. So this is something what many people don't understand, yeah. And then, of course, you have to report, and this is something where they say, oh, this is so much what we have to report there to this authority. And this is something what they are discussing now, how they can make it maybe more easy and all these kind of things. But yeah.
It's a really interesting point that you make about leverage in the supply chain, and the amount of influence you have over the supply chain, because clearly, I always use the example of the IT sector. I say, well, I may not like all the packaging I get in my IT hardware, but I can't influence the packaging policies of Hewlett Packard or Dell or whoever. All I can do is I can buy the best option. I can select the best solution. Whereas if I do have big leverage over the supply chain, then clearly I can influence it, and I can push the envelope, and I can create new specifications. So I think that's a really good point for people to understand. Yvonne, I think we've pretty much covered everything that I wanted to cover. Is there anything else that you could think of that we haven't spoken about yet? And then I'll do a bit of a wrap at the end of the podcast.
No, I think we really spoke about everything. I just wanted to maybe emphasize again what are the most important points for people who want to procure more sustainably. So I always connect it, or I always summarize it in actually 3 points. The first thing is really to educate yourself. Yeah, and I mean, ISO 2400, you have on your website so much cool content, so many cool videos and recordings and all what you provide there, and documents. So I really appreciate that very much. And we also try to publish as much as we can free of charge. So I think people can find a lot there to educate on their own, even if they don't want to take any specific course or something, yeah. But to abonate the latest newsletters or to go to conferences who are talking about these topics, to support this discussion, yeah, to really maybe watch a documentary or something about the topics, yeah, so that you really go deeper into this topic. That's very important, because there's so many people who are really talking about things that they are not really understanding yet. Then the collaboration part I want to emphasize, because in our research we also found that this collaboration idea is not that much in focus of many people, at least not in Germany, we found. Yeah, we saw some cultural differences also if we compared it with Spain, with Italy, with France, with the results that we had there. And we saw that especially this international collaboration with NGOs, and we see it even here in Germany, this collaboration with NGOs, they're very, very scared of. They don't see the advantages that such a collaboration brings, that it can be like an early warning system for them, for their supply chains, yeah, if they do it in a fair way and in a long-term perspective, yeah. So they very often forget this, and they think, oh no, I don't want to talk to them, because then they just show me, make finger pointing and just show me all the weak points that we are having, and then they blame me in the media, and then I have bad headlines, and I don't want this, yeah. So we try also to get them connected, that they are not so scared of them anymore, but also to motivate the NGOs to be more open for some corporates, yeah, for companies, to talk to them, that they are not all very bad, that quite many of them want to do something good, but that they need some support in this, so that they really collaborate, yeah, that they also better understand how science can help, how it helps to work together with universities, because they have students, programs, they make projects, they make research, they even have some funding here and there, yeah, if they do something together. So I also say, look, reach out to them, do something with them, and push it for this sustainability topic. And the third point is actually really to act now. What we see is that this sustainability topic is always very often postponed, yeah, that they say, okay, this year something else is different, but next year we will do it, or this year we focus on that, but I don't know, we don't have so much budget, so we have to change it, we have to cut it out, or we have to do it later, or whatever, yeah. So they have to prioritize this more in their business, in their strategies, and this is something what I want to emphasize, because we don't have any time to lose on a social way, not because we see the separation that is increasing, and also not on the ecological side, as we saw the climate change is proceeding, the biodiversity loss is increasing, yeah. So these are all points that are really making me very much worried about it. And even if they don't have the big budgets at the moment, they can do something. They don't have to wait for the perfect start. This perfect moment will never come, yeah. It's always about continuous improvement, but they have to start now with that point, with that budget that they are having. And if it's a zero budget, then it's a zero budget, and still they can do things, yeah, and they can talk about it in their organization, they can educate themselves in this, and so on. So this is, yeah, something what was still important for me to say.
Thank you. Yeah, thank you, Yvonne, for an excellent summary of a big conversation that we've had. It's been really interesting to talk to you and to hear your story, because, as I said, we have very little on our site about Germany and what's happening in Germany. And clearly, that doesn't mean that nothing's happening. Clearly, there's an awful lot going on. So this is really useful. And we would appreciate any free content that you have, particularly in German, because, you know, we want to have as many languages as we possibly can available on the system. So thank you very much for your time. I'm sure our audience will love your podcast. Thank you.
Yeah, and I thank you for the invitation.
Thanks very much, Yvonne, for telling us about the fantastic work that you've been doing in Germany. This is part 2 of 2 podcasts with Yvonne. I do hope you enjoyed it. Thank you.
Thank you for listening to our podcast on Sense and Sustainability. Please listen out for more episodes. For more information, learning resources, tools, and much more content on sustainable procurement, go to www.iso2400.org.